I am opening a brand new $10,000 Fidelity account. I just entered in some new positions. I'm going to be showing you those shortly. I'm also going to cover the new strategy. If you've already followed my page, you already know the main idea of the strategy, which is following what the politicians are trading. I'm going to go into some more detail on why I chose some of these stocks, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. So let's dig in. So first things first, I want to just kind of break down the overall idea of this strategy, which is just essentially just copy what the politicians do. One thing that I've learned over time is that you need to find the best ones to track. So you're going to kind of see that I chose a lot of these stocks based on specific politicians trading. So like we're really, Nancy Pelosi heavy. We are Debbie Wasserman Schultz heavy. Those are some of the biggest ones. And then we also have like Mark Wayne Mullen and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, before we jump into the portfolio, yes, this is me right here. I was actually featured on a Tommy G video. It's really cool. You should give it a watch. It almost has 1 million views right now. This was posted 2 weeks ago at this point. And yeah, we basically just went to the US Capitol, and we actually went to Nancy Pelosi's office to just ask her, what stocks are you investing into? So definitely give it a watch. Yeah, I was interviewed as well. So if you want to check it out, you can just look up Tommy G to find it. Okay, so now for the Fidelity account. I deposited $10,000 in here, I think on Friday. And then by Monday trading session, I purchased all the stocks that I wanted. I prepared, did all the research prior to getting to the stocks. So I'm already in. Looks like we're down $40. Not a big deal. I'm not thinking about, the return I'm going to get like in 24 hours or whatever. I'm thinking more long-term than that. So not a big deal. All right. So now for the full breakdown, these are the stocks that I am in. And then I've chose a couple of these I'm going to go more in detail on. So first things first, actually I should have sorted this by percentage of the account overall, just so you can see like the biggest positions at the top and the smallest ones at the bottom, but I didn't. All right, so I went ahead and just got a screenshot just so we could have that, so you could see the top positions here at the top. So we have Adobe as the biggest position. We got almost $1,000 in that. That makes up just under 10% of the account. Then we bought about 1 share of Eli Lilly, which is like $900. I didn't exactly want to have Eli Lilly be 9.3% of the portfolio, but I went ahead and figured, I forgot to mention, I'm going to be depositing $100 in here weekly so I can, buy new stocks and also just add on to my positions. That's kind of something that I do anyway with my other portfolios. So that's the name of the game. I mean, when it comes to investing, you need to be continually investing over time. I'm going to be putting in, so I'm starting with $10,000, putting $100 in every single week. So branching off that, I went ahead and figured that, hey, some of these stocks, are hundreds of dollars. So I'm literally never going to be able to buy them again unless they're like fractional shares and stuff. But I don't really want to do that for the sake of, maybe your brokerage account probably won't let you do fractional shares. That could be a possibility. So I wanted to go ahead and invest into some of these bigger stocks and go ahead and go pretty heavy on them, just because I'm not going to be able to invest, like a single $100 into one of these stocks. Like Adobe is $244. I won't be able to buy that one again. Eli Lilly, $900. Literally never going to probably buy that again for a long, long while. But there's some of these other ones like $47. I'm going to be able to actually buy those weekly. Like these smaller ones, and that's why they make up like smaller, portions of my portfolio. So let's continue. We have 9% of my portfolios in Google, 7.6% is in VST, Vista Corporation. I also bought ServiceNow, which makes up 7%, 7.2%. And then AMD makes up 6.63% of my account. Amazon makes up 6.4%. Meta makes up 5.75%. I actually only had to buy one of those shares to do that. And then Tempest AI, 5.7%. That's actually Pelosi stock. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Core Holdings, that's 5.27%. Stratasys, 5%. Nike, 4.42%. Micron, 3.79%. Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, lots of politicians buying this one. It makes up 3% of my portfolio. I'm actually not a huge Bitcoin guy. I don't own any crypto stuff outside of this portfolio right here. I have the Canadian Imperial Bank that makes up 3%. And then installed building products, IBP, we got 2.69%, and then we got InTap, which makes up 2%. That's actually the smallest position of my portfolio. Okay, so now let's move on from this and let's get into some of the reasoning why I'm getting into some of these plays. So for Google specifically, I think it was Cleo Fields and Nancy Pelosi. So especially with Nancy Pelosi, she's killing it. She's consistently on the top politician trading charts, like for last year, the year before that, and then the year before that. She's outperformed the S&P 500. That's what I'm looking for when picking this portfolio, is like a lot of it's like consistency. Okay, how consistent is this politician at outperforming the markets? Okay, I want to get into those stocks versus somebody else's stocks who doesn't hit those charts all the time. So just scrolling through here, I mean, you can already see there's a lot of good sentiment already. I mean, just for 2026, this is just the first page. There's probably some more trades here. And actually, you can see that Nancy sold $5 million of Google. Not a big deal. She was actually she was selling out of her Google call options, and then she got into some more call options. And we will see that on the next page here. So Nancy Pelosi is getting in. This was on January 16th. This one was on December 30th. So yeah, the last trade that Nancy's made on Google was a purchase, and it was call options. So that's one of the main pulling factors. Also, Cleo Fields, he put in some big boy buys. I mean, he's literally dumped over $500,000 into Google. And then also just all of this other purchase sentiment. These are buys, and this is a sale. And there's a lot of purchasing going on with Google. So I went ahead and chose that for my portfolio. Next specific one I wanted to cover was Now. ServiceNow. So I'll just kind of read through some of these posts. I make posts on Twitter. If you want to check us out on Twitter, we're Trade with Pelosi here. So new disclosure, Representative Byron Donalds purchased $30,000 of ServiceNow. It's worth noting that the stock is up 14% immediately after his buy on February 10th. If it returns to all-time highs, he'd be up 114%. This is also his first time ever buying ServiceNow shares. And then also Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, which is one that I like to track a lot. This post was actually just covering a lot of the stocks that he purchased in one of his disclosures. And he actually purchased ServiceNow. And I've seen Mark Wayne Mullen on several occasions. Now, I'm just going to say this briefly. He's purchased defense contracting stocks before major military events take place. I'll just leave it at that, okay? If you want to do the research, do it. You'll see. We're talking like Raytheon right before stuff happening. So, yeah, I like to track him because clearly this guy's got an edge. So yeah, if he's also buying ServiceNow, I think I'm pulling the trigger on that one. All right, next up, one of the ones that I chose for the list of stocks I'm buying was Vistra Energy. So Vistra, I posted this. They have the politician pass. And that's because these ladies are buying in 25, 26. So we have Julia Letlow, Nancy Pelosi, Lisa McClain, Julia Johnson. Is there something we're not seeing here? Okay. I think this stock has been downtrending. Who's to say it won't go back up? I mean, Pelosi's going long on this right now. So as you can see here, none of them have sold. They're all holding strong. Now, before we jump into the next one, real quick, I want to just inject this real quick. I want to say that this strategy is pretty low stress. It's kind of just wait for the politicians to sell in terms of getting out of the trades and stuff. So I'm kind of just going to sit back and relax. And then, I'll just be observing Vistra stock, for instance. And, if Pelosi sells, then I'll be thinking about it. If another one sells, I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll get out. It's kind of situational, but you kind of just sit back and relax and let the pro traders, tell you what to do, basically. All right, next up, we got Stratasys. So I like to call Debbie Schultz the small cap queen. She does it again. She disclosed buying $15,000 of Stratasys on August 15th. Stratasys was up 12% this particular day. This is a small cap stock. I don't know what it's trading at net right now, but at the time of this recording, it was $888 million, $1 million market cap, which is like really small. This is a small cap stock, guys. So this can be extremely volatile. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, in my opinion, and actually it's not really opinion at this point. It's in the numbers. She is better than Pelosi at trading stocks by a large margin. She's had multiple years, two, I believe, where she has been up over 100% in a single year on regular stock investing. And it's like, it's because she gets into these small cap stocks, and it seems like almost every single one she chooses, they just go up hundreds of percentage points. So I'm adding this to the portfolio. I don't think this one is up for her. I think she's actually down on Stratasys, I believe. Actually, let's check right now. I'm kind of curious now at this point in time. Okay, we're just gonna look it up. Our Stratasys trade. Okay, yeah, she's down 14% on Stratasys. So this one, she's not up hundreds of percent already. So I kind of just figured I'll just jump into this one. I also am jumping into some other Debbie Schultz trades just because I want to sort of mirror her portfolio because she does so good. I'm even going to get into some small cap trades that she's in that are already up hundreds of percentage points. And that's just because I want to kind of mimic her portfolio performance. And so that's what I'll be doing. So let's go back here. Okay. Next, let's see what we got. This is another Debbie one. I'm choosing Core Holdings out of this bunch. And I was also going to choose New Gold. And I'll tell you right now, Fidelity was not letting me buy New Gold. I guess it's not available on their platform. I'll show you here in a little bit. I was chatting with support on like why I can't buy New Gold. And they're like, it's not available on our platform. I'm like, okay, that's weird. I use Charles Schwab for my other portfolio. So I might just hit them up and see like, can I buy a New Gold on here? And I'll let you guys know what I hear. But anyway, I'm not going to be doing New Gold for this portfolio. I think I'm going to pick another stock, and we'll look through together on what stock maybe I'll do. Because I do have I think I have like $300 in cash in this $10,000 portfolio left. So I need to pick another Debbie stock in replacement of New Gold. So, but for this one, I'm choosing Core Holdings. This one has been crazy. I have been watching this one since the very beginning. She disclosed the trade back in August. Stock is up probably 30% after she discloses it. So I made a post like, yo, this stock's up 30%. Then it kind of just fluctuates in that area until around December. I made another post around December, and then that post kind of blew up a little bit on Twitter. It kind of like brought my account to like 30,000 followers, I think. But I was like, yo, look at this Core Holdings trade. Here's why it's interesting. And then that blew up. And then just a few days later, after that blew up, the stock was up like 100%. And then I made another post. I was like, boy, did I tell you. Did I tell you? And then that post blew up, and it was just like snowballed from there. So I'm going to be adding a Core Holdings to my portfolio, which you already saw. This one is actually already up well over 100% for her at this point. But she's also in other trades like Helka Mining. I think Helka Mining for her, I believe it's up like almost 1,000%. It's between 500 and 1,000%, I think. Let's look, actually. No, I was wrong. She's up 279%. Oh, that's why. The market's going down right now. She was up 500% at the peak. That might be a good turnaround play. We'll look. So yeah, circling back to a Core Holdings. The main reason why I'm getting into a Core Holdings is basically because Debbie Schultz owns that one. Next up is Eli Lilly. Why did I invest basically 10% of my entire portfolio into this single stock? We got Representative Ron Wyden, who achieved a 123% return in 2024 and a 78% return in 2023, just on his regular stock investing. It's been 3 years since he bought any new stocks. That was true up until a few months ago. He bought $100,000 of Eli Lilly on January 22nd. The stock shot up 23% after 1 month. However, his trade is back to his buy price after the Trump tariffs hit. Okay. I think I had this pulled up here. You can see like he's literally just selling stocks. And then boom, within the last 3 years, this is the only thing he's purchased. I decided, you know what? For a trader that's so good, dude must have conviction. So I'm adding Eli Lilly to the portfolio. Looks like he's up almost 23% at this point in time on this trade. Adding it to the portfolio. And then basically my criteria would be to sell it would be if Ron Wyden sells out. And then boom, I'm out, baby. So that's how I'm going to kind of play this one. And then the final one I want to cover is Adobe. This is actually one of the bigger positions I put in. You can already see that Mark Wayne Mullins all over this one. Yeah. And then also, yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene. So Marjorie Taylor Greene and Mark Wayne Mullin are no longer Congress members of Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene actually just left Congress like 3 months ago. Mark Wayne Mullin just got upgraded to the Secretary of Homeland Security, I think. So he's no longer a senator, which means we're no longer going to get their stock trades. So how I'm kind of feeling about this one is I'm going to maybe hold on for like around maybe like a year. And then to sell it, I mean, obviously probably after a year I'll sell. But if we start getting a lot of selling pressure from just all these other politicians, then I'll probably sell it. Unless, you know, like someone like Nancy Pelosi or Ron Wyden or somebody like that, if they actually went in and purchased Adobe within that time frame, I'd probably keep holding it just to hold. So yeah, we'll see. We'll just have to see what happens there. So like I was explaining before, I wasn't actually able to purchase new gold, which is one that I was planning on buying because W. Wasserman Schultz bought that. So I asked Fidelity support like why I can't, and they said they did some research on it and that security is unavailable on the Fidelity platform. And then I was like, why? And they said, I'm not sure. You could speak to our internal trading team. I ain't doing that, man. If I can't trade it, I can't trade it. There's nothing else they can do. So we are going to find another W. Wasserman Schultz stock to purchase with the remaining like $300 I think I have in the account. Let's see. Yeah, I think I have $336. I don't know what pending activity stands for, but I think that's my cash. I have leftover cash, so it's like $300, I believe. So let's go ahead and look through here. So we already have Stratasys, Core Holdings, and are those the only ones? I prepped this. Let's see. We got Stratasys, Core, and Gold. So we only have 2 Debbie stocks right now, which is Stratasys and Core. We need to find a third right now. So we're going to kind of go through here. This might be cool for you guys to see kind of my thinking process. So she is in a few small cap trades right now. And I'm just going to kind of pick one. So she is in that Helka Mining, VSAT. She sold VSAT, Helka Mining. Okay, this one's definitely on my radar. Possibly we'll get into this one for that rebound play. I think I'm going to do Helka. Let's see what some of the other politicians are trading on Helka, if they even are. That looks like January, June. They disclosed their trades late, but this politician's totally sold out because that's before that. So I think it's going to be Helka. So we'll see if I can even trade Helka. I'll actually check right now here on Fidelity. Let me check. Let me get this pulled up here. And it's not Helka, it's Hekla. I always say it wrong. Hekla Mining. Looks like I can pull it up here. It's working. So I should be able to purchase it. So I'm going to be adding Hekla Mining to my portfolio with the remaining money in my account. Let's see how much that would make up of my portfolio. Ooh, it's probably going to be just above 3% of my portfolio is going to be Hekla Mining. Now that we have basically broke down the portfolio, you guys know what's going on. I'm going to probably post a video at least once a week. I might do more depending on how much traction I get with these videos. So definitely hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see this stuff. And I will definitely make more and more videos, weekly. I don't know if that's 3 videos a week or 5, just depending on how popular this gets, the more output I'm going to have on this thing. So, all right. And then lastly, for those of you interested in this, like trading software I've been using, it's called Altoneer. I'm going to hop on with the developer here shortly with you guys, and we're going to look through some cool features of this thing and kind of just show you around, give you a little tour of the house. So let's do that. All right. I have Landen here, the developer of Altoneer, on live here for you guys. So we are going to take you through the trade section of the site. So basically the trade section will show all of the new stock trade disclosures. Yeah, Landon, you show that off a little bit. That's cool. This will show like purchases and sales as they come in. So, there's new disclosures like pretty much every day, 5 days a week. So Monday through Friday. And yeah, Landon's showing us right here. You can see like the percent gain or decrease for a specific time frame. Landon, show us. So these are like comparisons from the S&P and Dow Jones and NASDAQ compared to the actual trade that was made. And then Landon, real quick, do you want to kind of explain the T and the D?
Yeah, the T and the D. The T is when they actually traded the stock, the day that they went into their brokerage and bought the stock. And then the D over here is when they disclosed it to the public. After a certain number of days, they're required by law to disclose it. So here it was pretty quick because John Fetterman, he disclosed it about only 4 days after he traded it. So we knew pretty much instantly that he traded this stock on this day, on March 30th.
Yeah. So I want to add this real quick. A lot of people are saying like, hey, these trades are like useless because they don't have to disclose it immediately, like day of. I want to tell you that's not really true. The majority of these trades are disclosed after 2 weeks. They have legally pretty much up to like 45 days to disclose these stock trades, but on average it's 2 weeks. And a lot of these politicians are buying and holding for the long term. They're not like, some of them do day trade, but for the majority of them, they're buying and holding these stocks for months or even years. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. And, also sometimes these politicians will buy the stock and then it goes down in value and then they disclose it. And now you have this like opportunity. If you want, you can jump in at a cheaper price than they even did. So it's not always like that they will buy it and then it goes up a lot and then they disclose and then the run up's already happened. It's not true. It's kind of just random. Okay. But yeah, 2 week delay is not a big deal at all from what I've noticed. So is there anything else we want to show off in this video? I know that we're going to cover like some other features in the next videos, and then we'll also have like updates on what you are currently working on in some of the other videos. Is there anything else we want to show right now?
Yeah, something that I would say makes Altoneer pretty useful, especially in our day-to-day research and posting and things like that, would be being able to filter by certain categories. So, for example, here we'll get Mark Wayne Mullen, and then we'll get Raytheon.
I see what you're doing here. Okay.
And
I'll take over. Okay. So what Landon is showing us here is Mark Wayne Mullen's trade on Raytheon, RTX. Landon, what is RTX? Just for people that don't know.
RTX is a arms manufacturer. They make missiles. They make military equipment. And Mark Wayne Mullen actually happens, if you click on this here, he happens to sit on the Armed Services Committee. So anytime the United States is doing anything military related, it runs through him. And he's going to know about it.
Yeah. And then you can do some of your own research. We're actually not going to, just for the YouTube algorithm purposes, we're not going to say any of the conflicts that arose shortly after he purchased this, but you can see he purchased it on 2023, October 3rd. And he also purchased on 2025, December 29th. Okay. You can connect the dots yourself. And then all of these are golden trades. So Landon, explain what a golden trade is.
Yeah. So a golden trade would be, it just basically highlights if he has a little bit of extra information or, based on his position in these committees, it'll tell us that here.
Yeah, and it'll just
highlight it.
highlight it gold.
Yeah.
And then
It'll
also,
highlight it immediately when it comes out.
And then I don't know if people noticed, but when you were previously on the trades page, you could see that like there were, if you reset the filters real quick in the top right corner, you can see that like just recently there's already like, this is the latest disclosure, there's 3 golden trades. So it's like other scenarios like the one that we just showed you that just happens on like a daily basis. There's always golden trades coming out. When we were creating Altoneer, we thought like, how can we make this even more useful? I mean, it's already useful to know what stocks the politicians are trading in and out of. How can we make it a little bit extra useful? And this is what we decided is that, hey, they sit on this committee that has direct jurisdiction over this company's industry. Boom, that's highlighted in gold. And that's what makes it even more useful. And I mean, I use it for my own research too, when I'm, looking through these stocks. So yeah, I think that's about going to wrap this video up. So I hope you guys found some value out of it. And then I'll be posting another update on how the portfolio is going. And then I'll be also posting like within those videos, I'm probably going to talk about specific things happening with, a specific investment that we're in. Like it could be any of them, like Vistra Energy. And I'll just kind of post updates like, yo, hey, I'm adding my $100 deposit I'm going to add into this stock and this one, or, hey, I'm selling out of this one and here's the reason why. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much the vibe of the videos, at least in my mind. This is kind of a new series for me. I've never really recorded anything like this before, so I'm kind of getting new to it. So I don't know, just bear with me, bear with us. Yeah. Any final words, Landon?
I don't know what to say.
All right, we'll end it there.
Peace.
Peace out.
Peace.